3, 2, 1. Okay, welcome students. As far as we are discussing about projection of solids, let us try to solve one problem in a projection of solids. The detailed question is available in our description, in which it is given that a square prism. I have been already told that what is a prism. A prism is nothing but the base and the top, which consists of a square, and if it is a prism, which means that the base and the top is covered by means of a rectangular surfaces. Okay, so a square prism is resting on a base corner. So base, we have 4 sides where each side connects have a corner. Base corner resting on HP. Okay, this is what given. So the square prism of side 45 mm and height 80 mm. This is what given in our problem. Okay, then at the end they are given us if the axis is inclined at an angle, that is the solid's axis is inclined at an angle of 30 degree to HP, drawing its projection. Okay, so in our previous chapter in projection of planes, we know only about a square plane. Okay, what is a prism as I told you earlier, which consists of square at the bottom and square at the top, which means it is connected by means of a rectangular faces. Okay, so now you can see here, I have drawn a square in which resting a corner. We know one concept, if it is going to resting on HP, first I need to draw my top view. This is what we have been learned from our projection of planes. So here, and it has been given that the resting should be a corner, which means that left hand portion of the plane should be a corner. With that particular base, I have been drawn this particular thing. Okay, so now to consider this as a prism, I need to construct a rectangular faces. Here you can see the height of the square prism is 80 millimeter. Okay, so once I draw here, it is assumed that I have 2 squares. So one at the base and one at the top. So now I need to project and draw my front view. So to draw project it, first I need to project the axis of the solid. See, you know that for a square, the axis would be at the intersection of the diagonal. So I draw the diagonals at that particular place. I have my particular axis. So long dash, gap, short dash, gap, long dash, gap, short dash, gap, long dash. So this is actually our center line. Okay, so when I look from here, so there is some reason why I have been not named it. So when I look from here, I can see this particular corner, and this corner. So I am making it as a, so using my compass or using my scale, from here I am having a 80 mm. So let us assume that this is my 80 mm. Just I need to project these lines until 80 millimeter. Until 80 millimeter. Okay, so this is the height of the thing. So since I can see this particular corner also, here instead of a center line, I need to have a continuous line. Okay, so as I told earlier, I told that in the top also will be having a square, in the bottom also will be having a square. So I will be having 2 squares where I have to name it. So we can have 2 concepts. What is the concept in the sense? For the base, we can have, for the base, as we discussed earlier, we can have the alphabets, and for the top, we can have numbers. Okay, so if I look from the top, I can see only the numbers. I cannot see the alphabets. Okay, I can give it as 1 within the bracket A, 2 within the bracket B, 3 within the bracket C, 4 within the bracket D. But if I look from here, I can see in the bottom alphabets A, B and C. So that I can write it as A dash, B dash and C dash within the bracket D dash. Be very careful. This is for the front view. So don't write your naming below your reference line. You should be very careful. And you look from here, I can see 1, 2 and 3. So that I can write as 1 dash. So it is 2 dash. And this is 3 dash, and within the bracket it should be 4 dash. So obviously you know that only the front view and top view should be darker. So I am just making it darker. All other remaining I have to use only my 2H pencils. Okay, all other remaining projections and all the points I have to use only my 2H pencils. So many of them will be making a one mistake. What is the mistake in the sense? they forgot to draw this base also dark since it is in reference line. You kindly don't forget to draw this particular line darker. So simply we have completed our completed our simple position. Now if we want to go for inclined position, we have to come with the inclination given in the problem. The axis is inclined at 30 degree to HP. First let us complete one thing. If anything is inclined given with respect to HP, it means that we have to incline the front view. Okay, this is okay, clear for us. The next thing is axis incline. Let us tell one example. See here, imagine this is our square prism. Okay, so this is our square prism. So let us consider this as a triangle here. So obviously this would be 90 degree because it is perpendicular. Because of its perpendicular, it is 90 degree, and axis given here is 30 degree. Okay, we know that the sum of an isolated triangle would be around 180 degree. So that this is the base of our solid. This angle would be 60 degree. You be very careful. You be very careful. So this concept is very much required. So otherwise I can give, in order to find out the base inclination, let us have it as theta. In order to find out the theta, which is the base inclination, we can write it as 180 degree minus 90 plus axis inclination. So this is not a formula, sir. Just I have made for your clear understanding purpose. They have given axis inclination in the problem. I need to find out the base inclination in the problem. So that I am making it as, so the sum of the angle will be 180 degree minus this 90 degree plus axis inclined condition, which is given already in my problem. Okay, so this is what given in the problem. So to try that, let me go with this particular problem. So let me go with this particular problem. Okay, see here I am having axis inclination given is 30 degree. Let me write it as 180 minus 90 plus 30. So which means this total value is 120. So that the actual value will be 180 minus 120, which is nothing but 60 degree. Which is nothing but we have found out the axis inclination. Okay, so let me try to draw now, for which what I have to do is, so having this value, what should I do is, I can draw having this. See here, I have made this corner as resting. But in case of projection of solids, you try to have your right hand side. Let me tell why. Because if I have an object here, and if I try to fix A and incline A, my object will be like this. So my object should not disturb my simple position. So for this case alone, from projection of solids, you try to have your right side for resting condition. Okay, I hope you understood. Resting condition is the projection of solids. Right hand side. So I am going to simply fix this point. So which is nothing but I like to have it as a C1 dash. I like to have it as a C1 dash. So base inclination 60 degree. So consider this as your zero. Consider this as a zero. You try to take an angle of 60 degree. Okay. So seeing your point of fixed point dash. From C I can measure B and I can measure A. See here, from C first I am measuring B and I am having a point. So this point is nothing but B1 dash. Within the bracket I can write D1 dash. Similarly, from B I can measure A. From B I can measure A, where this point is nothing but, so this point is nothing but A1 dash. Okay, now I am having the base. Now I need to find the top. What I can do, see here, this particular line is perpendicular to the base. So what I have to do is, I need to draw a line which is perpendicular. I need to draw a line which is perpendicular to my base line. Okay, to my base line. And obviously I know that what is the height given in my problem, which is nothing but 80 millimeter. Otherwise you try to measure from B to 2 and you have a line which is parallel to your base, and similarly given name which is similarly given. This is 1 dash, this is 2 1 dash, within the bracket 4 1 dash, and here it is 3 1 dash. Okay, so now we have simply made this inclination. So if I want to make it very clear, see here, this is my axis. This axis is now 30-degree inclined. Okay, so let me complete this problem with a dark in color. See here, because it is my required. This is my required front view. This is my required front view. So that let me complete it. Okay, so here I can name it as a C1 dash. So in order to complete my final position, what I have to do is I have to project all the points. See here, from here I am projecting which is perpendicular to my reference line. So I have projected all the points of base. Be very careful. You should not project only from the base. You have to project all the points from the top also. Okay, so now I have to project it from here, where this would be parallel to my reference line. This would be parallel to my reference line. Now I have been projected here. Here I need to find out what is the point I will get. So what is the point I will get? See here, from here you know that here the base is going to come. If the base is going to come, here I can write this as A1. And I can have this as my B1, so this as my C1, and this as my D1. Okay, and you can see here, this is my top, so where I can have this as my 1-1, so this as my 2-1, this as my 3-1, and finally I have my final point 4-1. Okay, that is our concept. So you can see here, when I look from here, I can see the entire part of the top 1, 2, 3, 4. So for that, what I am going to do is I am going to connect all 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 1. Okay, but if I look from the top, I can see A to B, and A to B. But I couldn't see C to B and C to D. Let me explain it very clearly, but let me complete it. There is a trick for this. I cannot see C to D and I cannot see C to B. So it should be a short dash. So I hope you know that what is a short dash. So a dash, gap, dash, gap, a dash, gap. So that's the standard for this, which is available in your template itself. Okay. Now you can see the A is connected with 1. So I need to connect this A with 1. But the case is the C to 3 is hidden line. C to 3 is a hidden line. So from here I am drawing C to 3 is a hidden line because I cannot see from the top. Okay. Now what about A to 1? Since A to 1 is visible, from here I can draw directly the continuous line. Okay. What about B to 2? So B to 2 is visible. And what about D to 4? D to 4 is visible. Okay, so this is the final inclined position of a particular square prism. Now let me tell you a trick. If a corner is resting, be very careful. If a corner is resting, the longer edge which is corresponding to the corner. அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம் அப்படினா இந்த கார்னருக்கு தொடர்புடைய longer edge என்ன C to 3 கண்டிப்பாக hidden line. இந்த கார்னரோட தொடர்புல இருக்கக்கூடிய shorter edge C to B and C to D kandipa hidden line. That is what I did here. C to 3 is a hidden line. C to D is a hidden line. C to D is a hidden line. So finally we want to make the dimensions. As you know, obviously I have made a 30-degree already here. You be very careful. And the problem is axis incline 30 degree தான் கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. நம்ம base incline கண்டுபிடிச்சோம். அதுக்காண்டி base incline என்ன பண்ணக்கூடாது? We should not give the dimension. We should give dimension only for the axis. It is understood that this will be 90 degree and this will be 60 degree. The final dimensions what I have to give is I need to give my what is the height of a particular prism. This is my extension line and this is my dimension line. Okay, this is my dimension line and which is 80 it has to be written in the center of your dimension line, which is 80. And I know obviously it is the thing is given as a 45 millimeter. This is my extension line. This is my dimension line. Okay. And we are using a dimension called as a aligned dimension. Since it is aligned dimension, I am writing it over here as 45 millimeter. Okay, so this is our simple position and this is our inclined position. Okay, with which we have solved the problem and find out the projection.